Hello, everybody. Allison Flannery here. I am the author of this book, In the Hall of the Mountain King. And I wrote this book because there's also some really cool music that has the same name, In the Hall of the Mountain King. And that music was written by a very famous composer about 150 years ago. That composer's name is Edvard Grieg. Edvard Grieg wrote that music for a play. The play was written by his friend. His friend's name is Henrik Ibsen. Now, this music and that play made a really cool story. And so I thought, let's take that music and the scene from that play and turn it into a children's book so that all of us could understand where that beautiful music came from. Now, Henrik Ibsen and Edvard Grieg were both from the country of Norway. So our story is going to be set in the country of Norway with a boy named Per. He's going to have his dog. And there's also going to be a fun lizard hanging out and coming along with us in this story. Now, we want to make a very special shout out to our illustrator because our illustrator's name is Vesper Stamper. And she drew and painted all of beautiful pictures in our book that help our story come alive. So we're going to read the story In the Hall of the Mountain King. Then we're going to listen to the music and do some motions with the music, just like Per does in the story. So here we go. In the Hall of the Mountain King by Allison Flannery, illustrated by Vesper Stamper. So if you look here, you can see that we're going to be in the country of Norway with tall mountains, lots of water, and our boy up here in his house waiting for the day to start. In the country of Norway, a boy named Per lived on the forest's edge, where the trees and the mountains are tall. His little house faced west, so he could always see the sea. When the sun was out and the smell of adventure was in the air, Per loved to go exploring. He always found treasure. Rocks that were round and sparkly, lizards that were brown and bumpy, and trees with branches spaced just right for a boy to climb. One day, Per ventured through the forest and out the other side, farther than he had ever been before. And there he found the best treasure of all, a castle. People had often told stories of a mysterious mountain king who lived far beyond the forest. Maybe this was his castle. Per couldn't wait to find out, so he slipped through the front gate. Those guards were not doing a very good job taking care of the castle. At first, he tiptoed along, careful not to make a sound, his eyes wide at the wonders before him. The stories were true. He saw the Mountain King's riches with his own eyes. From passage to passage and room to room, Per grew more confident. Maybe he could be the king. He walked and marched. And he skipped and spun on the marble floors, wishing this day would never end. Per rounded a corner, and who did he bump into? The Mountain King himself. That Mountain King does not look happy. Well, Per had forgotten one important thing. He was an uninvited guest. Fear of the Mountain King's fury seized Per. Fear of dark dungeons. Fear of never again seeing his little house by the sea. Per ran like he had never run before. The Mountain King bounded after him, but Per was faster. As Per raced to the castle, he slammed doors behind him, hoping to slow the Mountain King just enough to escape. They ran and ran, doors slammed and slammed. Each door brought Pear one step closer to freedom. But the Mountain King was getting nearer and nearer. One last door stood before Pear, one final door until he was free. He ran, he jumped, he slid through the door. Slam! Oh, Pear didn't look back as the castle disappeared into the forest beyond the mountains. As he found his way back home, he made a promise. From this day on, he would have his adventures closer to home. At least for a while. Oh, maybe he'll go back even. Look at that face. The end. Now we're going to act out that story. So I want you to take your fingers and I want you to put them on your knees or on your legs, on your lap somewhere. And we're going to do everything that Pear just did in that castle. We're going to tiptoe. We're going to skip. We're going to march. We're going to spin. And when we run into the Mountain King, and you're going to hear that in the music, we're going to go like this. And then we're going to run. When we hear those doors slamming, we're going to take our hands and slam. And slam. Okay, and then we're going to run. When we get to the end, remember he had to jump and slide through that last door before he could go back home. So we're going to do all of those motions together to this amazing music called In the Hall of the Mountain King. Remember, the music and the book are called the same thing, In the Hall of the Mountain King. And the composer's name is Edvard Grieg. Edvard Grieg wrote this music. Now, it starts off really, really quiet. In music, we use the word piano to mean quiet. So it starts off really, really piano quiet and gradually does a crescendo until it is super, super loud. And that word is forte. So we're going to go from piano to forte in our music. So you're going to have to put on your good listening ears, get your fingers ready, because here we go with In the Hall of the Mountain King. Ready? We're going to Let's walk. Can you walk with your fingers? Make them walk on your legs. Make them walk just like we're in the castle. Let's skip. Skip, skip, skip your fingers. Let's march. March. And march. Let's spin. And spin. Let's slide. Ah, the Mountain King! Run! Keep running! was really scary. We almost didn't get through the castle. Okay, that was super fun. But now we're going to stand up and do it again with our whole bodies. So we're going to do all those motions just like we did on our legs, except we're going to use our whole bodies. So follow me as we pretend like we're in the castle, just like Pear, in the Hall of the Mountain King. Ready? Tiptoe, tiptoe. Everybody tiptoe. Good job. Keep tiptoeing. Just like you're in the castle. Keep tiptoeing. Let's walk. See if you can march. 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 Try some skips. Lift those knees. Lift, lift, lift. Keep skipping. Okay, spin in a circle. Look around the castle. Look all around. Oh, how about spin the other way? Oh, amazing. Oh no, to the castle. Oh, wow. Oh, we barely made it out of the castle. Good job, everybody. Thanks for doing In the Hall of the Mountain King with me. Again, my name is Allison Flannery. I hope you enjoyed the book. I hope you enjoyed the music. And I hope you enjoyed the illustrations by Vesper Stamper. And let's remember our composer's name that wrote the music, Edvard Grieg from Norway. All right, everybody, have a great day.